All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our newly admitted EAP cohort for fall 2022. Whether you're joining us from inside the US or from the other side of the world, on behalf of the International Students and Programs Office, also known as ISPO, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you may be. My name is Kyle Organza, and I am the International Student Advisor here at ISPO. So before we begin, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping items. First, I would like to let you all know that we are recording this webinar, and you'll be able to view this webinar as well as any of the Q&A questions we answer at iwebinars.ucsd.edu. Second, please know that you are in listen-only mode, so you can hear us, but we cannot hear your audio. If you have any questions, please do use the Q&A feature to submit them. We will have time dedicated at the very end of the webinar to answer your Q&A questions. And we will also answer your Q&A questions throughout the webinar as well. So today's session is relevant to students who plan on studying inside of the US this fall quarter. We'll talk about your support system on campus. We'll review your immigration documents together, and we'll perform what's called a document self-check, where we'll discuss the J-1 regulations and also review some resources for travel and emergencies. Okay, so I'm going to be handing this over to my colleague, Argeria Williams. She's an International Student Advisor here at ISPO, and she'll be leading the rest of the webinar.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kyle. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the International Student Orientation for our J1 Know the Rules. We're so excited to welcome you this morning or this afternoon or this evening, wherever this presentation might find you. So before we get started, we wanted to do a little introduction of our team. So here at ISPO, we have about 20 friendly advisors and administrative staff, along with student assistants that are ready to help you. ISPO can advise you on understanding your immigration rights, your statuses, and your rules, as well as working on and off campus, traveling and navigating academic life, as well as adjusting to campus life and life here in San Diego. Another way that ISPO helps is through our programming. We host a variety of different events and engaging activities for our students to come and create a community here at UC San Diego. Be sure to check out our iPrograms calendar, which I will be showing you all in the next upcoming slides that will highlight all of our relevant programs that we have for the fall quarter. It's really a beautiful way to get in contact and get connected with your colleagues on campus, as well as, stay engaged and create that community here at UC San Diego. Alrighty, so a little bit about how ISPO can help you. We are here to help you navigate and understand your status, as well as all things regarding your J1 standing at UC San Diego and in the United States. So we kind of already touched on this. I won't spend too much time on this again, but this again just really highlights the different things that our office is here to support you through. We really pride ourselves in being the one-stop shop for our international students to come ask us any questions that they may have, whether it pertains to your immigration status or it pertains to academic life or any kind of questions that you may have about the campus or the university. We are really here to help you navigate this campus. We understand that UC San Diego is a large campus, so we really want to help our students any way that we can, and really finding the resources as well as the offices on campus to really help make your student life a success here at UC San Diego. There are a variety of different ways that you can contact us and get connected with us. We have all of these different hours and ways listed on our iContacts page, as you can see here on our screen. we have a contact form and of course an email. So if you wanted to ever send us a quick message or have a question that you may not be able to come into the office to connect with us, you can definitely reach out to us through those platforms. We also offer our drop-in virtual advising, which is extremely helpful if you want to talk face-to-face with an international student advisor here at ISPO and get your questions answered. We do offer that advising about 5 days per week. And again, all of our hours will be listed there on the iContact page. We also provide front desk and in-person appointments and advising. So if you are on campus and are close to the ISPO office, you can definitely pop in to ask any questions or meet with an international advisor. And lastly, we do also have our phone and travel emergencies line. Hopefully no one will find themselves in a situation where they would have to use that. But again, if it is something that you do find yourself in, we do have that open line of communication as well to contact us if in the case of any emergency. Definitely be sure to bookmark our iContact page for hours and links to contact us. Alrighty, so now we'll get into our a little bit about our document self-check. So in the document self-check, we will be reviewing and discussing the following documents. They include your passport, your visa page, J-1 visa page inside of your passport, your Form DS 2019, and your Form I-94. If you have already entered the US, you may already be able to locate and download that I-94 document. We will be discussing each one in more detail in the next upcoming slides. If you have those documents available and next to you, it might be a good time to grab those so that when we review them, you will be able to review them together with me, wherever you may be in your home or apartments to perform this document self-check. Alrighty, so we're going to watch a short video about your immigration documents. Looks like it is not wanting to work for me this morning. I apologize for that. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties with this video, but nonetheless, that's okay. We will just review it in its content in the next slide. Alrighty, so the document self-check is really important because these immigration documents are the documents that allow you the authorization to stay and to study in the United States. So a couple important reminders. One is to never discard your documents. We strongly advise that you keep all copies of your Form DS 2019 from ISPO and any institution you may attend in a safe place, as well as in a place for your records. You never know when you'll need them. So it's really important to have those copies available to you and accessible for you if you ever do need those. Secondly, we advise you to always keep your documents valid and updated. In the next couple slides, we'll be talking about how to do that and to make sure and to review your documents to make sure that they are always up to date and correct. Thirdly, we advise that you keep your documents accessible. We understand that you all are going to be very busy during your time here at UC San Diego. So we definitely do not advise to carry these documents with you at all times. We advise that you keep these documents, such as your passport and your visa and your DS 2019 in a safe place so that they don't get lost or damaged, and keep digital copies of your Form DS 2019 as well as your passport and your visa on your phone or on your laptop so that you always have an accessible, safe copy on you at all times. Lastly, we advise that every time you leave and re-enter the United States, you perform this document self-check. This is really important to ensure that every time you re-enter, you enter on the correct visa status, as well as ensure that the information that is on your documents are all correct and match every time you re-enter the United States. All right, so let's learn how to do that document self-check together. So the first document we will be reviewing is going to be your passport. So I know this is nothing new. I know you all may have seen your passport before. When performing the document self-check, there are a couple of things we advise you to pay close attention to on your passport. That includes your legal name, as well as the date of expiration. All of your documents must match your name as it is spelled exactly on your passport. So your passport name is going to be the rule of thumb for all of the documents, including your visa, your DS-2019, your I-94, and any other document that you may get during your time here in the United States. It's imperative that you always check your name against your passport to ensure that it's spelled correctly and in the correct order as it's listed directly on your passport. Secondly, always be sure to check your date of expiration. As an international student studying in the United States, it is a requirement that you must always have a valid passport during your program here. We advise if you are traveling internationally, your passport must be valid for at least 6 months into the future. Be sure to check that expiration date of your passport and just keep a mental note of when it is going to expire so that you plan ahead and ensure that you always have a valid passport during your time here. An important reminder is that your passport can be renewed inside or outside of the United States at your country's embassy or consulate. So if you find yourself in a situation where your passport will be expiring soon, you can definitely renew it here in the United States. We advise you to contact ISPO if you have any questions about updating or renewing your passport so that we can walk you through the process and make sure that it's seamless and as easy as possible for you. Again, this is just an example to remind everyone to check, again, all of your biographical data as well as the date of expiry on your passport. Oops. Alrighty, so the next document we will be reviewing is your US visa. So your US visa is located inside of your passport. We at ISPO like to refer to your visa as a key. So this key is valid or must be valid at the time of reentry to the US. However, once you are inside of the US, it's okay if you no longer have the key or have that valid visa. As long as you are maintaining your status, which we'll talk about in the next upcoming slides, you can remain in the US if your visa expires. Unlike your passport, your visa can only be renewed outside of the US in a US embassy or consulate. So unfortunately, you cannot renew your visa inside of the US. However, as mentioned, you only need a valid visa at the point of entry to the United States. So if you decide to stay in the US, don't decide to travel internationally, your visa has expired, but you are still continuing in your program and maintaining your status, you can stay here legally with that expired visa as long as you have a valid DS-2019 passport and are maintaining your J-1 status. Okay. So when reviewing your visa, it's really important to ensure that your biographical information is correct. Again, it should match exactly what is listed on your passport. Note that on your visa, it should reflect the visa type that you hold. All of you should have the J-1 visa. It also will indicate the entries that you have, which determine the amount of times that you can enter the US during the validity of your visa. S means you can only enter the US one time or a single time during the validity of your visa, while M means you can enter the US multiple times during the validity of your visa. Again, it's also really important to note the expiration date of your visa, especially if you are planning to pursue any international travel during your time here at UC San Diego. Alrighty, so the next document we will be discussing is your Form I-94. So your Form I-94 is generated once you arrive to the United States. So for those of you who have already entered the US and are here, your I-94 record may be available and accessible for you to download. Those of you who may still be in their home countries or traveling to the United States, once you enter the US, you will be able to access and download and generate this I-94 record. Now, this I-94 record is going to be a arrival and departure record from your time entering and departing the United States. This form is generated every time you enter through the US Customs and Borders, and every time your passport gets scanned, it generates this I-94 record. The Form I-94 is available online roughly about 24 to 48 hours after arrival. You can access this form by visiting i94.cbp.dhs.gov, which we have listed here on our screen, to access this form. When you are accessing the form, you will need your passport close by, as it will ask you to include your passport biographical data as well as your passport number. When you input that information, it will generate a I-94 record. Again, it's really important that every time you leave and re-enter the US, you go onto the I-94 website, you list your information, and you generate this I-94 record. You want to check to ensure that the class of admission is correct, meaning the visa type that you have been admitted into the United States matches the visa type that you are studying here on, which for all of you should be the J-1 visa. The admit until date should state D/S, which stands for the duration of your studies. And again, your biographical data should match, and the date and the location of your entry to the United States should reflect where you entered through your arrival to the United States. So we advise you to download this copy and print this document, as well as keeping a digital copy of the document in a safe place so that you have it for your records and your reference. If at any times when accessing your I-94, you have any issues or see incorrect information on there, please contact ISPO as soon as possible so that we can help assist you with updating and ensuring to correct that I-94 record. It is really important, again, that every time you re-enter the US, you make it a habit to go into your I-94 record and download and print it and keep it for your records. Alrighty, so the last document, which is not really a document, but requirement that we will be doing, is your address reporting. So within 10 days of any change, it's really important that you log on to your Triton link and update your current address. The current address, which is also referred to as your local US address, should always reflect where you are currently staying. I know from some students, we are getting questions about coming into the US early and staying in a city other than San Diego. That is completely okay. However, if you are staying in a different city and have submitted our check-in form, which we will be talking about in the next slides, you want to make sure to update your address. Again, we advise that within 10 days of any change you make, you should be updating and reporting that new address in your Triton link. You should also be checking and ensuring that your permanent address is correct, which should reflect your foreign home address, and that you have a emergency contact listed in your address tools on your Triton link. Oops. And again, this is just another example of the type of address or the screen that you will see when you will be updating your address. As you can see here, you will be updating and ensuring that you have a correct foreign address as well as a correct current US local address. Alrighty, so now we're going to talk about a really important requirement that you will all have to submit. It is going to be our iPortal Fall 2022 check-in form. Now, upon arrival to the US, you will be required to log into your iPortal and submit this Fall 2022 check-in form so that ISPO can activate your SEVIS record. When submitting the form, you will be asked to upload a copy of your Form I-94 and confirm that you have updated your current address in your Triton link. If your plans change and you are unable to arrive to the US by October 8th, which is our add drop deadline, as well as the deadline for our Fall 2022 admits to enter the US with a fall start date on their GS 2019. We'll ask you to contact ISPO so that we can help assist you with submitting the required forms to update the start date on your document, as well as troubleshoot the best option for you given that situation. So again, if you do find yourself in a situation where you are unable to arrive to the US by October 8th, please contact us so that we can help assist you with navigating through that process. We also will advise you to discuss it with your UCEAP contact, so that we are all on the same page with having to either adjust your start date or adjust or defer your arrival to participate in the program to a different date of a different quarter, depending on that situation. So again, please be sure that you bookmark and are on top of this check-in form. As I mentioned, again, this is the only way that us at ISPO are able to really check you in and confirm your arrival to activate your CBIS record. We are asking our students to have this form submitted by October 8th. However, if you do find yourself submitting it after that date, that is okay. Just please try to submit this as soon as possible so that we can check you in and activate your CBIS record. All right. So in our slides so far, we have been talking about something called maintaining your status. So in the next upcoming section, we will be talking about the ways in which you will maintain your status and what that means, discussing and confirming on holding an active CBIS record, having a valid J-1 status, and information about falling out of status or becoming out of status during your time here. All righty. So when ISPO first issues you a Form DS-2019, you hold a status called initial. This means you're ready to start your program. This means that you have received your DS-2019 and are ready to start your process to receive your J-1 visa and get prepared to start your arrival to the United States. So all students start in an initial status, which you will see here on my screen. Once you arrive to the US and submit our required check-in form, we will then activate your J-1 status. Again, the only way we can activate the status is by you submitting our check-in form and arriving to the US and submitting your I-94 through our check-in form. Maintaining your status means that during your activation, following typically your start date of your program, you will be required to follow certain rules and reporting requirements for the J-1 visa to maintain your status during your program of study at UCSD to take you to your last date of enrollment or last date of classes. If you don't follow the rules, you may find yourself falling out of status, which is not good. So it's really important that you always make sure that you are maintaining your status by following the rules and reporting requirements, again, which we will be talking about in the next upcoming slides. This is the only way to really guarantee that you will maintain your status to take you to the end of your program and be able to finish your classes and your program of study here at UC San Diego. Oops. Okay. So from the true end date of your program, which typically is the last date of your final quarter, you will go into something that we refer to as a grace period. So our J-1 students following the last date of their program end date will go into a 30-day grace period. So during the 30-day grace period, you will have the option to take one of the following actions. You can decide to apply for work authorization. If you are planning to continue on and want to gain employment experience here in the United States, if you are going to be continuing your educational journey in the US, you have the option to transfer to start classes at a new school. You have the option to travel while inside of the US. If you are continuing on maybe to a different status in the US, you will have the possibility to change status. And lastly, depart the US during your grace period time. So once you decide to take action, right? So either working or if you are going to be transferring, you will return. If you do decide to work, you will continue on as an active J-1 status, right? So you will have no break in your active status and will continue on. If you decide that you are going to be transferring and attending a different institution in the US, upon our transfer, you will return to an initial status. Alrighty. However, if you decide to depart the US or do not take any action before the end of your 30-day grace period, your SEVIS record will autocomplete and you will have to depart the US before the end date of your 30-day grace period. So important to keep in mind your program end date as well as the 30-day grace period following your program end date, and plan ahead if you are wanting to pursue or continue on with education or employment while in the United States, as it's required to submit that within your grace period time. Alrighty. So now that we've kind of gone over our timeline of maintaining your status, we will now discuss the requirements and regulations about maintaining your status. Okay, so these are going to be the ways in which you will do so. Enrolling full-time, updating your DS 2019, maintaining your academic standing and integrity, following federal rules and regulations, as well as obtaining proper work authorization before you begin or engage in any kind of employment during your program here at UC San Diego. All right, so we have some videos to watch. Hopefully they work. We'll try it out. If not, we will again just cover the information together. Let me see here. Let's try pressing this. All righty, it looks like it doesn't want to work for us today, but that's okay because again, we have that information ready to go over in our next slide. All righty, so full-time enrollment. So it is a regulation and a requirement that during your program of study here, you enroll and maintain a minimum amount of 12 units each academic quarter you are here at UC San Diego. Please keep in mind that this requirement is only during the academic year and not required for the summer. If you find yourself in a situation where you need to take less than 12 units for an academic quarter, as a J-1 international student, you are required to apply and receive reduced course load authorization from ISPO through our iPortal document request system. Now, the different type of reduced course loads fall into these three categories, which include academic, medical, and final quarter reason. If you do find yourself in a situation, again, where you feel like you have to take less than that 12 unit requirement, please plan ahead and contact us so that we can help assist you in navigating through the best request for your situation. It's imperative that you apply for the reduced course load before you go below units. So again, just make sure that you are reaching out to us and following the rules and reporting requirements to submit the proper authorization before you find yourself below those 12 units. The next requirement, of course, is to keep your DS 2019 updated. So this includes information pertaining to your program end date, your program level, your major, as well as your biographical information. So when in performing your document self-check, you want to make sure that all the information that is listed on your DS 2019 is accurate. If you see anything on your DS 2019 that is incorrect, again, please contact us so that we can help assist you with updating that to ensure that it is accurate and up to date during your time here. Similarly, if any kind of academic information changes or biographical date information changes, program dates change, please contact us so that we can help assist you with submitting the correct request to update that information on your DS 2019. So if you find yourself in a situation where you are planning to leave your program a little bit early, that will require a request and an update to your DS 2019. So again, if you have any questions about that, just contact us so that we can help assist you with getting that submitted. Again, our rule of thumb is that you should submit any changes within 10 days of that change through our iPortal request system. Okay, so now we'll talk about the third requirement of maintaining your status, which is academic standing and integrity. We'll just go ahead and skip this video and we'll go right into the context. So here at UC San Diego, we pride ourselves in excelling with integrity. So it's really important and imperative that you review the information of your course syllabi and understand the expectations of you when collaborating with your classmates or conducting research here at UC San Diego. Academic integrity violations do have a very serious impact on your immigration status. Those who are subject to these violations may find themselves falling out of status. So it's really important to make sure you have that clear understanding of what's required of you when submitting any kind of formal documentations or collaborating with your classmates and your peers here at UC San Diego. Learn more about excelling with integrity by visiting our Academic Integrity Office at aio.ucsd.edu. Again, really important to spend some time right before classes, really ensuring you understand the requirements and the for citing your work as well as collaborating with your classmates and ensure that you are excelling with integrity here at UCSD. Alrighty. Now we'll watch a short video about your academic advice.
Hello and welcome to UC San Diego. In this video, we will provide an overview of academic advising at the university, as well as some helpful academic information you should consider during your time here.
One thing that is unique about UC San Diego is the 6-college system. What does this mean for students like you? You'll have access to the resources of a large public research institution and the comfort and support of a small college community. Each college has its own traditions, general education requirements, student affairs, residential life, and academic advising staff.
UC San Diego has a 2-part academic advising system. You will be able to work with both college academic advisors as well as department academic advisors while you're here.
College academic advisors provide assistance regarding general academic advising questions at the university and referrals to university academic resources.
Department academic advisors can provide assistance regarding specific academic courses offered at the university and resources related to your success in those courses.
Academic advisors are available to assist you in planning for enrollment. We can help you review class options available, understand course prerequisites, determine the appropriate number of units for your schedule, and guide you in making decisions that will benefit your academics.
UC San Diego is on what's known as the quarter system. In an academic year, we have a fall quarter that starts in September and ends in December, a winter quarter that starts in January and ends in March,
Department academic advisors can provide assistance regarding specific academic courses offered at the university and resources related to your success in those courses.
Academic advisors are available to assist you in planning for enrollment. We can help you review class options available, understand course prerequisites, determine the appropriate number of units for your schedule, and guide you in making decisions that will benefit your academics.
UC San Diego is on what's known as the quarter system. In an academic year, we have a fall quarter that starts in September and ends in December, a winter quarter that starts in January and ends in March, and a spring quarter that starts in April and ends in June.
Each quarter is 10 weeks long, with midterms often beginning around week 3 or 4 and finals week after week 10. Though there may be a few assignments or points given for participation and attendance, oftentimes grades for courses are based on midterms and finals. The grading structure for courses varies by instructor, so it's important to use professor and TA office hours often. Official grades are available approximately 1 week after finals. The transition to a quarter system can sometimes be difficult due to how fast it is. This is something to keep in mind when planning your courses.
As with any large university, There are a lot of academic deadlines to keep track of throughout the quarter, and academic advisors are happy to help clarify those with you. During each quarter, the end of week 2 is the deadline to add classes and apply for part-time status. The end of week 4 is the deadline to drop courses without a W and change grading options. Be sure to check with your home university to see which grading options they accept. The end of week 6 is the deadline to drop courses with a W grade. The W grade means that you drop the class after the first drop deadline. W grades do not impact your GPA and can be repeated for credit. You can only have one W grade per course. If you repeat the course, you cannot drop with a W again. Numerous W grades can have a negative impact on your transcript, but a few W grades on your transcript are fine for graduate or medical school.
Courses numbered 1 through 99 are lower division courses and are normally designed for freshmen and sophomores who have little or no background in a particular discipline. These courses provide a general foundation as well as breadth, enrichment, and overall knowledge on a field of study. They also generally serve as prerequisites for upper division courses. Courses numbered 100 through 199 are upper division courses and are typically open to students who have completed at least one lower division prerequisite course in that given subject or who usually have junior or senior standing. These specialized courses provide an in-depth study of the discipline's theories and methods, as well as an understanding of the applications and limitations of those theories.
Prerequisite and course restriction information for each course is available online in the UCSD General Catalog. Prerequisites or restrictions must be completed prior to enrolling in a course if they are required. If you wish to enroll in a course that has prerequisites or restrictions and have completed similar prerequisite courses at your home institution, you can submit a pre-authorization request using the Enrollment Authorization System online at easy.ucsd.edu. You will need to include justification for your request, such as a transcript or official test scores.
If a course is full, you can add yourself to the waitlist to try and get into the course. Waitlists are automated, which means students will be added to the course from the waitlist based on their position on the waitlist, only if someone drops the course. Thus, there is no guarantee that you will get into a course if you add yourself to a waitlist. If you add yourself to the waitlist for a course, you'll have to continue checking your schedule to see whether you were automatically added into the course or not. Students will continue to be added to classes from the waitlist as seats become available through the end of Thursday of week 2 of the quarter. The last day students are able to add into a course with available seats is Friday of week 2. We don't recommend waitlisting for a course if seats are available at other times for the same course. It is much better to be enrolled in a class than to waitlist. For questions regarding getting into a course, contact the respective department for assistance and let them know you are an EAP Reciprocity student.
Most UC San Diego courses are worth 4 units each. Enrolling in 12 units per quarter, or about 3 classes, is the minimum required units for international student visas and I-20s to be considered a full-time student. A full course load is considered 16 units per quarter, or about 4 classes. Because of how fast the quarter system is, we do not recommend enrolling in more than 16 units per quarter. If you need to be enrolled in less than 12 units per quarter, be sure to speak to an international students and programs advisor as soon as possible before dropping any classes.
UC San Diego has 2 grading options, letter grade and pass no pass. A letter grade reflects your performance in a class and results in grade points that count towards your GPA. Students can earn up to an A or as low as an F grade for a course. UCSD does not differentiate between A's and A pluses. Pass no pass, or P&P, shows that you have either passed or not passed a class. Students whose overall performance in a class is a C- or better will receive a pass grade. Performance in a class that is below a C- will result in a no pass grade. Classes with P grades count towards your unit requirements for a degree but do not apply to your GPA. No more than 1/4 of your total UCSD course units, or no more than 25%, can be taken as pass-no pass. Keep in mind that most majors and graduate school requirements do not allow pass-no pass grades to count towards requirements. Check with your home institution or graduate schools you are interested in for more information on their requirements. Students at UCSD are considered as having good academic standing as long as they maintain at least a 2.0 quarter GPA and 2.0 cumulative GPA.
The quarter system can be an adjustment for many students. What does this mean for your study habits? Depending on how difficult a course is, a general guide to remember is for every hour you spend in class, you'll be studying 2 to 3 hours outside of the class for that course. For a typical 4-unit class, that means you'll be studying about 8 to 12 hours per week for that one class. If you're taking 3 classes or 12 units, you'll be studying about 36 hours per week. For 4 classes or 16 units, you'll be studying about 48 hours per week.
Students who are successful academically at UC San Diego tend to have mastery of time management, are proactive and prepared for class, utilize professor and TA office hours, get involved on and off campus, and know deadlines and use resources available to them.
Alrighty, so we will stop there. We hope that information was helpful to you all, as gives a general overview of the UCSD academic system, as well as the quarter system and utilizing your academic resources here at the university. Alrighty, as we continue on, we will be discussing the last couple of ways that you will be maintaining your status. The fourth one is following federal rules and regulations. So we will go right into that context. So it's important to understand and to follow the rules that are here in the US, understanding that they may be different than the rules in your home country. There are state laws and there are federal laws. Federal laws apply to all 50 states, while state laws only apply to that particular state. Let's take this example here, as you can see. Although it is legal in the state of California to purchase and partake in recreational use, it is not legal in all 50 states. International students are subject to federal laws. Though legal in California, students who possess the medical marijuana may face trouble with federal officials. So it's really important to know and understand that the federal laws, all of our international students are subject to the federal laws. So it's really important and imperative to keep that in mind. Again, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you have any questions about if something were to have an impact on your visa status, you of course can definitely reach out to us at ISPO, and we will be able to spend some time exploring that with you and ensuring that you have the correct information to not violate your status in any way. Lastly, we will be discussing work authorizations. So as a J-1 international student, it's really important to know that you are required to apply and receive work authorization before you engage in any kind of employment in the United States. So it's really important to keep that in mind. Do not start working until you have the proper work authorization. To find out more information about work authorization as a J-1 international student, visit us at iwork.ucsd.edu, as it will explain the different type of authorizations that are required for you to maintain your status as a J-1 student here at UC San Diego. Alrighty, so that concluded our maintaining your status portion of our presentation. In the next upcoming slides, we'll be talking about some important resources to bookmark and keep on your desktops. Another important link that we advise our students to have is our itravel.ucsd.edu. So this page is really helpful as it has a checklist of documents that you will need to travel internationally. Visit itravel.ucsd.edu to learn about the documents you may need when seeking reentry into the U.S. Also, for those of you who are planning to explore California's amazing locations in the next few weeks, it's important to also learn about the documents that you need when traveling within the United States. Ensuring that you have a valid travel signature on the second page of your, on the first page of your Form DS 2019 when you are traveling, which will also be discussed on our website here, itravel.ucsd.edu. We also wanted you to know where we are located. So we are located on in our Student Center B, which is right across from Mandeville Auditorium. You can find our find our location on our website, as well as through our icontact.ucsd.edu page. We also wanted to just show you location of where we are located on campus, and we'll also send a reminder for you to ensure that you download and have our digital copy of our emergency card. So along with all of your digital copies of your visa documents, we advise our students to also download and have a digital copy of this emergency contact card on your phone or on your laptop. This card contains important information and phone numbers, as well as tips on what to do if you are ever detained or in a situation where you are questioned by U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, or by any official police or any other kind of emergency situation here in the United States. And again, you'll be able to find that contact card on our website, and be sure to download it and keep that handy. I hope today's session was informative and gave you all really great resources and tools to start your program here at UC San Diego. A couple of reminders, so please be sure to follow us on social media. We have really great information posted there, really great information about our programs that we're hosting, and it's a good platform for you all to stay engaged with your community here at UCSD and also with our office. We have Instagram and Facebook, so be sure to follow both. Another useful tool is the UC San Diego mobile app, which has helpful tools to navigate campus. So definitely be sure to also check that out. Lastly, we do our best to remind you of any regulatory updates through our social media as well as through our iStudents newsletter. So be sure that you are checking your UCSD email and reviewing our iStudents newsletter frequently, as of course it'll have important reminders for you all to follow during different times of the academic calendar here at UC San Diego. Alrighty, and now I'll turn it back to our host, Kyle, who will close us out. Looks like we have a few minutes, so we may be able to take one or two questions for today's session.
All right, thank you, Argeria, for being with us here today. And thank you to all of you for being here as well. Now that we've reached the end of the session, we're happy to answer as many of the questions as we can. Please submit them through the Q&A feature now if there's anything you'd like to ask us. Next slide, please. I would also like to bring to your attention that we have something called meetups, and meetups are a great way to meet other international students at UC San Diego. We're offering two different kinds of meetups. Those that are interest-based and then those that are based upon the region. So to register for meetups, head to iorientationucsd.com/meetup. Also, I'd like to share with you our iEvents calendar, which you can visit at ievents.ucsd.edu. This is a great resource for seeing what is happening at UC San Diego all year long. And this is a live calendar that features globally engaged events hosted by student orgs as well as campus departments throughout the year. So please head to iEvents.ucsd.edu for all of the latest events. And some final reminders before we say goodbye, please continue to register for other orientation sessions by visiting iorientation.ucsd.edu. iorientationucsd.com. And you can also visit iupdates.ucsd.edu, as well as check the UC San Diego email weekly for our ISPO newsletters. And finally, you can always contact ISPO at icontact.ucsd.edu or follow us on social media, such as Instagram. And please also take a moment to scan this QR code on the screen. It will take you to the survey for this webinar session. And this survey is how we will be tracking attendance to the webinar. After completing the survey, you'll also receive a post-session email tomorrow reminding you to fill it out. And if you have any questions, please email iprograms@ucsd.edu. Thank you all for attending today's session. Again, whether you're joining us from inside of the US or from the other side of the world, on behalf of the International Students and Programs Office here at UC San Diego, please enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, or morning, and have a great fall quarter. I think we can stay on for a few more minutes if people would like to submit any last-minute questions. Otherwise, please do feel free to log off and explore our beautiful campus and area if you're already here or prepared to pack.
Thank you so much, Kyle. And I'll go back to the QR code screen. So again, just take a few minutes if you can to take a picture and go to this link and fill out this survey for us. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. It looks like a couple last-minute questions are coming in. If you do not get your question answered, again, please feel free to contact us at our iContact page so that we can help assist you with any questions that you may have. Again, thank you so much for joining our presentation today. We hope this was helpful and hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everyone.